är bra på mig alla lappar.
Vychádza. A uvidíme, či to bude gól. Pozor, no slap shot, no slap shot.
Češi!
Češi!
Zostava týmu Česka. Brankár 32, Patrik Bartoša 33, Pavel Pancals Brava Pancals 6, David Musil 17,
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Checking 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes Canada.
Welcome to the second semifinal on this Saturday in the 2019 World Hockey Championship. Canada against the Czech Republic in front of a building packed mostly with Czech fans. The border between Slovakia and the Czech Republic less than an hour from here. Their fans have been here for the last couple of weeks. And the Czechs come in after a 5-1 win over Germany in the quarterfinals. Their 5th win in a row. Their only loss so far, 3-0 to Russia. Mikko Kakakori and Jeremy Tufts are the two referees today. Canada won the last meeting 4-1 in 2017. Alain Vigneault's team gets Anthony Mantha back today. And for Milos Riha, first year as the head coach of the national team, the first time coaching a Czech national team at any level. He was a head coach here in Bratislava in the early 2000s. So Canada looking to get back to the gold medal game. Canada won medals in 3 consecutive world championships before last year. And for the Czechs, 7th last year. They lost in the quarterfinals 3 straight years prior to this year. Their last semifinal appearance was in Prague in 2015. They lost 2-0 to Canada.
Teams got here far differently. Canada, of course, with the great escape against the Swiss, a goal with 0.4 seconds left on the clock, and Mark Stone's overtime heroics. The Czechs, as you mentioned, a 5-1 win over Germany that was closer. They scored 4 times in the 3rd period to win.
Czechs have 12 NHL players. Patrick Bartoszak was a draft pick of LA in 2013, spent 3 years with Red Deer in the Western Hockey League, and on his 25th birthday, Matt Murray gets the start for Canada. Canada's the home team, has the last change. And as expected, Sean Couturier gets the checking assignment against this line, centered by Dominic Simone, with Jacob Voracek on one wing, and Michael Frolik on the other. Centering pass, Couturier, a quick drive, that goes high and wide.
This has been the Czechs' best line in the tournament, and of course that's what the Canadians would love to do to them. Forecheck, make them play in their own zone.
They've combined to score 15 goals, have these 3 in the tournament. Frolik plays that a deep knockdown by Damon Severson, who was the regulation hero for Canada. That goal, 0.4 seconds left to tie it up against the Swiss. And then in overtime, the Canadians pull it out as Mark Stone scored his 2nd. The only time Canada led in that game was when it was over.
It will be hard-pressed, these two teams, to do as good a job as the first game, a near-perfection performance by Finland in a 1-0 win. There's Canada's best player. Mark Stone has had just a brilliant tournament. He's got 7 goals on the tournament. He's scored the clutch game winner against the Slovaks with 1.8 seconds left earlier in the preliminary round, of course, and the brilliance in the quarterfinal game.
Andre Palat of the Tampa Bay Lightning drops that back, knocked away from Radek Faksa by Jonathan Marchessault. Here's Palat with it. That pass picked off by Dante Fabro and moved out by Stone to the line, but not out. Jaskin got a bump there from Marchessault. And now Stone up for Marchessault. Works on Horovchik, and now Horovchik back the other way. Michael Horovchik moves that down to the Canadian line. Icing waved off as Shea Theodore goes back. Long lead pass for Mark Stone. And Horovchik back to pick it up. Gulash knocks that ahead. They took a funny bounce off the backboards. Now Shabbat up ahead for Anthony Mantha, who served that one-game suspension for a hit to the head of Colin White of the United States. And now Shabbat plays it back in.
Now remember, Canada's been in this arena one time. They practiced here, and that's been it. The Czechs have been here the whole time.
Radko Gudas up ahead for Jan Kovac. That's deflected wide. And now fired wide. And Kovac can't knock it down. It's back at center ice. Jan Kovac feeds that down to the Canadian zone. Michael Repik falls. And now Turris has it back for Canada. Kyle Turris up for Mantha. Pokes that around David Musil, whose dad, Frank Musil, was a long-time international player.
Hated playing against him. Man, he was tough.
After a long line of great players, his grandfather, Jaroslav Holík, was a great Czech international.
Played with his uncle, Bobby Holík, in Hartford. There's the leader of the Czech team, Jakub Voracek from the Flyers, has had an outstanding tournament. See the 16 points. He's really been kind of like the heart of this team.
He and Bartoszek both became new dads during this tournament. Their wives gave birth in the Czech Republic. They ducked home to be there and came back to rejoin the team. I mentioned the Czech Republic, just about 45 minutes by train from here. In fact, one of the favorite pastimes for people here in Bratislava is to drink 4 beers in 4 countries in one day. Take the train up to Brno, drink in the Czech Republic, then down to Vienna, it's about an hour away. Have a beer in Austria, down to Budapest, 2 hours away. And come back to Bratislava, you've had 4 beers in 4 countries in one day.
Seems like a worthwhile venture.
Yeah, apparently you get a little pass for it, you get a little certificate for doing that. Cirelli, up for Nurse. Darnell Nurse works in. Trying to flip that back in front. Knocked down by Dominic Simone, who plays for Pittsburgh in the NHL. Simone for Voracek. He's hammered off the puck by Severson. Voracek, the only player in this Czech team who was a member of their 2010 World Championship squad. Canada arguing that should have been icing, but it's brought back down to the Canadian zone. And
I would say Damon Severson's defensive play has surprised me the most here for Canada. He started to play on this top pair early, the matchup pair with Darnell Nurse, and Severson has been really good in his own zone in the tournament. That's been the knock against him in New Jersey. That's a solid play, and of course he can really shoot the puck, and it was his late goal, his first of the tournament, that put Canada into overtime where they could beat the Swiss and get to this semifinal.
now Jaskin's shot blocked by Severson. Moves ahead with Reinhardt as Canada's changing after the icing. Severson banks that in. And back to pick it up is Radko Gudas. His dad also played internationally for the Czech Republic, the old Czechoslovakia. And not surprisingly, was known as a pain in the rear end as well.
Gudas can be a menace. He's one of those guys, when you're on the ice, you got to know where he is all the time.
Faxa. Back to Zamorsky. And brought ahead by Joseph. Matthew Joseph moves it and shoots, and Bartoszek makes the stop. A late black there from Adam Henrique, but Bartoszek has it.
Pretty difficult save for Patrick Bartoszek, who has to fight through a little bit of a screen. The speedy Matthew Joseph is going to get out to the right side. Gudas can't close him up tight enough. And see, in that case, Gudas is just looking for the hit. He's not trying to deny the shot. He's leading with his backside because he's looking to lay a body check on and rely on his goaltender to make the save.
Off the face-off, Mantha with a drive. Bartoszek makes the stop. Brought up by Philip Hronek. Now the Detroit Red Wings. Shabbat picks it up. He got tied up. Now loose behind the Canadian goal. Shabbat picks it up. Shabbat's clearing attempt was knocked down by Kubalik. And now a race for it. Jared McCann in on Hronek, and Hronek knocked that away. Jan Kovac. Up for Gulash. That's knocked down by Shabbat. Kovac was his full name on his uniform, even though there's no other Kovac on the team.
But he's got their own style.
Loose puck in front. Shabbat almost had it stolen away. Now a chance for the point. Ruda with a shot kicked out by Murray. Here's McCann with it. Flips it high in the air for Mantha. Mantha, a sharp angle shot. Bartoszek knocks that away. Dubois pins that along the boards. Kolash to center ice, knocked down by Voracek. Played ahead by Theodore for Stone. Mark Stone winds his way through center, threads that pass ahead for Stetcher. Troy Stetcher in, centering pass, score! Stone taps it by Bartoshak, and Canada takes a 1-0 lead. A tournament-leading 8th goal for Mark Stone.
Stone just gets to the front of the net. He's got his stick down. He deflects in the Stetcher pass. Jan Kolash, the defenseman, takes a chance here at the blue line, and he whiffs on this puck. Now he whiffs. He can't turn to deny Stetcher the ice. And Bartoshak comes off the post. Stetcher jumps into the play. The Vancouver Canucks defenseman fires a direct pass to Stone. It almost looks like Stone's trying to control it, not deflect it, but it bounces off his stick, and when it's going well, it's going well. Canada, an early 1-0 lead.
And points in 7 consecutive games for Mark Stone. Canada outscoring his opposition now 16-4 in the first period. Now Cirelli tries to pull that free on Reinhart. Sam Reinhart. Lost the handle, that's moved ahead, but Couturier got a stick on that. Sean Couturier has been handled all the hard assignments for Canada. Moravchik hammered down there by Reinhart. And now Darnell Nurse back to pick it up for Team Canada. Nurse snaps that pass in for Marchessault. Knocked down by Roenick. What a terrific year for Detroit this year. Split the year between Grand Rapids and the NHL, but scored 5 times in half a season for the Red Wings.
Played a big role in the quarterfinal win. 23 minutes, had an assist.
Now moved back in front by Faxa. Penalty coming to Canada. Touched up by Marchessault. And the Czechs down 1. We'll go to the power play when we come back. Czechs a chance to tie it here on the power play. They're 6 for 29 in the tournament, led by Michael Frolicki as a pair of power play goals.
Canada's penalty killing got burned for a couple against the Swiss. The Swiss had come in with just 4 power play goals in the tournament, but got both of them with the man advantage the other day. We got a little ice repair going on at the one end of the ice, and with Marchessault in the box, Canada will defend their 1-0 lead. A pretty easy slash to call as he gets into the hands of Andre Palat. Everything will go in this power play through Voracek's hands. Also, if it's not in Voracek's, it'll get to Kovash, number 43. He'll play in the top of the left circle. He really passes the puck well.
Kovash came over to North America, signed with the Providence Bruins of the American League. Had a dozen games before coming back and playing in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. Face-off won by Couturier, picked up by Severson. And Roenick kept that alive, and now it's knocked out by Henrique. Roenick rink wide to Voracek. Up for Frolik. Drops that back for Roenick. He comes in, taken down by Couturier. Play continues. And Couturier barking at Roenick about a dive. Here's Voracek back with it. Voracek winds in, feeds that back across to Frolik. Banks it back to Voracek. Cross he goes to Ronak. Ronak spins it back to Voracek. Being watched by Cirelli. Here's Ronak with it. Back across to Gulash. Takes that return feed from Kovash. Frolik trying to get free. A centering pass. Chopped high and wide by Frolik. Voracek back with it. 1 minute to go on the Czech power play. Ronak back across. Gulash shoots. And that's stopped by Murray and knocked up and out of play.
Pretty crisp movement on the puck, and Gulash scored 30 goals in 51 games in the Czech League in Pilsen this year. He gets rid of it in a hurry, but look how square to it Murray is. He's read the passing route perfectly. No traffic in front, and he shoulders it aside.
Gulash is playing in his first IIHF event for the Czech Republic at the age of 33. Led the league, the Czech League in goals and points this year with 30 goals in 62 games. Pardon me, 51 games, he had 62 points. Here is Ruta. Jan Ruta. Swings that down to Michael Repik. Now Faxa tied up there by Fabro.
Fabro's role has grown game by game in this tournament.
Got hit in the face with a puck against Great Britain 6 seconds into his first shift. Missed the next one, but has returned, wore a full shield for a couple of games, and now gone back to the half shield. A nasty cut to his mouth. Swung back by Ruta for Palat. Andre Palat swings that rink wide. Long shot. Murray makes the stop as Kubalik got the shot away. It was deflected in front by Palat, and Murray makes the stop.
It's amazing in a world championship how players get different roles than they would have in their NHL team. Andre Palat is a checker in Tampa Bay. He kills penalties for them. He's not leading the rush on the power play. Here he gets the puck on the drop pass, throws it out to Kubalik, and then gets to the front of the net. And Palat, who's a 7th round draft choice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, has put together a really nifty 427 games in the NHL already. That's found money, a 7th round pick doing that.
Couturier, the face-off win. Severson pounds it down. Final seconds now of the Czech power play. Ronak dumps it back to Voracek. Back to Musil. Long wrist shot. Pinballs a couple of times wide. Marchessault back on. Now Voracek tries to center it. Back at the point. That long shot deflected again. And this time Murray makes the stop again off the drive by Ronak.
Gord, I didn't think Murray was great in the quarterfinal game. He's been really sharp here on the deflections and tips he's had to deal with.
Now Dubois, centering pass for Stone. That just missed. And Frolik back the other way for the Czechs to Voracek. Up for Frolik, bouncing puck in front of Stetcher. Frolik shoots and Murray makes the easy save there. Picked up by Stone. Mark Stone for Troy Stetcher. In shoots, and Bartoshak makes the save on that. Jumping up as Turris to keep it alive. In for Stetcher. Stetcher shoots, bouncing puck in front, knocked down by Frolik. Frolik's clearing attempt, knocked down by McCann. McCann back in the corner for Turris. Mantha was teed up for the one-timer, but it's off a stick. Up and out of play. Kyle Turris, the captain of Team Canada. Back from last year's team.
There's the Frolik tip, another one. That's about the 3rd one already that Matt Murray has had to deal with, and it's a pretty intense young fan right there.
Off the face-off. Controlled by the Czechs and played out by Peter Zamorski. And now Radek Faxa of the Dallas Stars peels that back. Leaves it there for Zamorski. Shabbat knocks that ahead for Henrique. Adam Henrique pulls that through. Well, the rink wide pass intercepted by Shabbat. Thomas Shabbat peels back on Yaskin. Up around for Henrique. In the feet of Dylan Strome and brought back by Faxa. Tipped wide by Palat. And Andre Palat back on a centering pass. Yaskin knocks it down. Murray down a centering pass. And the shot is blocked from Faxa. And Strome lays that down in the Czech zone. As Ruta goes back, being shadowed there by Henrique. Fired in by Milan Gulash. That's knocked down by Theodore. McCann, a lead pass for Turris that was knocked away by Musil. Mantha picks it up. Kyle Turris lost his stick, fell into Kovacs on a long shot by Fabro, deflected Winders. Mantha with it. Mantha down to Turris, leaves it there for McCann. Jared McCann pivots back, being shadowed by Kovacs. A centering pass goes all the way back to Fabro. Fabro for Turris, back to Theodore. Jay Theodore in, shoots, and Bartoszek makes the stop. Lead pass for Kubalik. And Dominic Kubalik is stripped of the puck by Fabro. 8:45 to go in the first period. The buzz still surrounding the early semifinal. The Finns and the Russians their first loss, a 1-0 defeat to advance to the gold medal game.
Just talking to people in between games, the disbelief that a no-name Finnish team could play as perfectly against a star-studded team from Russia was in every conversation.
Now for Liga, loose puck, works it back in front, knocked away by Murray, and Cirelli has it back for Canada. Kolash lost the handle. Couturier comes in on him, picked up by Reinhardt. Back down to Couturier. Couturier for Reinhardt. Goes back to Severson. He swings it across to Nurse. Darnell Nurse in, shoots. Bartoszek makes the save. And Gudas plays it back around. As Jan Kolash tries to knock that away. Up ahead to Voracek. He's pinned there by Nurse. Moved in by Frolik. Good move by Frolik. Drops it back, but Ruta had his pocket picked by Couturier. Canada lost John Tavares the day before the tournament to an injury in practice, and Couturier especially has played a larger role for Canada. Been a face-off machine in the tournament, up around 72%.
Say with more open ice offensively, Kyle Turris has been another one that's jumped up 9 points in the 8 games so far for Turris.
Centering pass for Zahorna, that goes high and wide. Thomas Zahorna just missed there. Now the sharp angle shot taken by Ruta. And Murray makes the stop. 1-0 Canada leads here in the first period in Bratislava. Nothing Canada leads. The shots are 10-9 in favor of the Canadians. The winner gets Finland in the gold medal game tomorrow. The loser gets the heartbroken Russians in the bronze medal game. 8 and
There was a bonus sitting there if you go undefeated in the tournament.
$1 million Swiss francs. Canada cashed that in Prague in 2015. Picked up now by Faksa for Jaskin.
The Russians were the only team that had a chance at it. And safe for another year, that bonus.
Here's Dante Fabro, moves around Palat. Fabro, rink wide pass for Strome, that bounced away. And the lead goes to Palat. Andre Palat bumped there by Joseph, his Tampa teammate. Now Fabro back with it. Not surprisingly, a strong Tampa presence in this tournament after they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Now Strome lifts it high in the air. Gudas goes back. Mantha picked it up. And Strome goes in on Gudas. Back is Philip Myers, who answered the call after Canada got some injuries on defense. Brandon Montour was lost for the balance of the tournament. Fabro was out.
When he came, Myers had not played in a month. He's really done a good job. This is a tough penalty.
Yeah, Turris is going to go here. He and Gulash collided. And Jan Kovacs back with it. Kovacs actually signed with the Islanders first in the offseason. Didn't work out there. tried his luck at Providence and then went home. So Canada will be short-handed for a second time in this period as Voracek brings it ahead. The extra skaters on the ice. Voracek takes the pass, throws it back in front. Here's Kovac with it. Down to Gulash. At the point is Hronek. Puts it back in the corner for Voracek. Here's Hronek, fires it wide. Finally touched up there by Myers. And Kyle Turris will go off for Canada, and the Czechs will go back to the power play. Czechs are back on the power play here with 5:29 to go in the first period, looking for the equalizer against Canada.
Kyle Turris in the box for holding.
Here's Hronek off the face-off win by Kovac. Hronek feeds it across. That came out, icing called by the linesman and about 8 players on the Canadian bench.
A bit of a mental mistake for Hronek to lose the puck at the blue line there. Here's the holding call as Turris got the arm in front of Gulash, and the call was made before they all hit the ice.
Face-off won by Couturier, and Nurse risked that down. Canada has one short-handed goal in the tournament, scored by Anthony Cirelli. Hronek drops that back for Voracek. Jacob Voracek works in, flips it back to Hronek. Back across to Gulash. Gulash centering pass off the stick of Severson.
They shoot for the shot tip quite frequently.
Gulash walks out of the corner, feeds it back in front, tapped wide by Frolik. The look they wanted, Frolik just miscued it. Voracek feeds it back to Hronek. Back across to Gulash again, looking for the tip, and Frolik couldn't reach it. Back at the point is Hronek. Back down to Voracek. Voracek feeds it back. Hronek walks right in, feeds across for Gulash. Gulash down to Kovac, a centering pass, broken up by Nurse, the pass at his feet, and Henrique knocks it down the ice.
Great read by Nurse. He realizes the puck's going across the crease to Voracek, but then he got into some trouble as the puck got stuck dead in his feet. Canada gets some help and nicely clears it down.
Andre Palat winds in, drops it back to Faksa. Kubalik knocks it down. Back at the line is Jan Ruta. In for Kubalik, back to Ruta. Swings it across, rubbing a hard shot. That deflected just wide. And now move back down the ice. 20 seconds to go in this Czech power play.
Not the most creative power play. They're getting it into this left circle and shooting it or shooting for the shot pass as often as they can.
Now Palat got tied up there by Severson. Stone races to it. Feeds it back to Nurse, has time, and gets it by everyone. Up to center ice to McCann. Penalty's over. One shot for the Czechs in that power play. McCann tried to center it as Turris jumps in. And Stone knocked it free. McCann pokes that in deep. Gudas back to pick it up.
Canada gave up 2 power play goals in the quarter. They've killed off 2 penalties here in the first period.
Marna for Jaskin. Dmitry Jaskin, now a Washington Capital. Plays it down to Simone. Top line back on the ice. And played back by Strome. Fabro back around to Severson. Trying to flip that back in. It was knocked down by Jaskin. And Zahorna lost the puck to Strome. Now here comes Simone, shoots! And Matt Murray makes the save on his fellow Pittsburgh Penguin. Dylan Strome back on it, feeds it across to Fabro. 2.5 to go here in the opening period. Canada with a 1-0 lead. Severson to Mantha, to Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois steams in, throws it back in front, just out of the reach of Mantha. And now Gudas back the other way. Lead pass for Frolik. He's got Thomas Zahorna with him. Now Frolik winds in. Poke check there by Stone. Stone to Marchessault. He peels back. A centering pass for Dubois, skipped away. And now Stetcher retreats as Voracek brings it in. With Roenick driving the middle, Voracek drops for the trailer. Thomas Zahorna, that's broken up. And Stone with a rolling puck. Battles for it and feeds it out. In comes Thomas Zahorna. Drops it back to Voracek. Flips it back for the trailer. Kubalik. Kubalik winds in a backhand shot. That goes high and wide. Kolash on it. Down to Kubalik. Stetcher's lost his stick now. And that shot blocked. Scooped up by Dubois. Lead pass to March. Ruta. Jonathan Marchessault swings that back in deep as Canada gets fresh legs on the ice.
A couple of Tampa Bay teammates going at it there.
On comes Cirelli, skated by the puck for a moment, but plays it back to center. Brought in by Kovac. Being harassed by Cirelli, drops it back, and that shot stopped by Murray. On a shot by Milan Gulash.
Gulash can really shoot the puck. You mentioned his first tournament ever international. He can really get it going. The Czechs are gonna have an opening here, and it's Frolik wide open in the slot. And he hits it off the heel of the stick, and it skitters wide of Matt Murray. Murray has stopped all 12 shots and has done it really confidently in the Canada goal.
Couturier for the face-off against Faksa. Draw control by the Czechs. Brought out by Palat. Andre Palat being shadowed there by Couturier. Back at the point is Peter Zamorski. Feeds that down to Jaskin. Poke check there by Reinhart. Race for the loose puck. Zamorski tied up by Cirelli. And Cirelli slides that ahead as Gudas has to hustle back. Fired back down to the Canadian zone, and Damon Severson goes back to pick it up. That pass missed everyone as Canada was changing. Zamorski for Palat. Bumped down by Severson. They tangle again in the corner. And poked ahead to Turris. Kyle Turris works ahead. Slides it across to Reinhart. Sam Reinhart shoots the deflected puck in front. Back at the point is Fabro. Feeds it back, and the backdoor pass just missed Nurse. And now Nurse knocks that down for a moment. Jaskin plays for Palat. He's out of gas and goes to the Czech bench. Time winding down here in the period. Fabro swings back. And he'll just work the clock off here in the first period. And Canada will go to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead after one on the tournament leading 8th goal by Mark Stone.
Shots on goal in the first period. Czech Republic 12, Canada 11.
Stroj nabrán v prvej tretine tým Česka 12, tým Kanady 11.
Žiaden dôvod výstupy po prvej tretine, čo týka českých fanúšikov. No reason to be sad for the Czechs. Still have 40 minutes to go.
Teams begin this second period 5-on-5. Czechs had both power plays in the opening period, and the shots were 12-11 in favor of the Czech Republic. But it's a 1-0 lead for Canada. Trying to book a spot in the gold medal game at the World Hockey Championship. Canada gold medal winner in 2015 and 2016. Sam Reinhart was there in 2016 along with Mark Stone. Sean Couturier won gold with Canada in 2015 in Prague.
Stone got his 8th of the tournament, 5 minutes and 18 seconds into the first period on a Troy Stetcher pass.
Couturier hooks that back for Darnell Nurse winding in. Nurse drops it off for Couturier. Sharp angle shot. Bartoszak makes the save. A centering pass, score! Darnell Nurse banks it in, and 10 seconds into the second period, Canada has taken a 2-0 lead.
Darnell Nurse is ready to start the second period. I'm not sure Patrick Bartoszak and the Czech Republic is. Face-off win by Couturier. He wins it on the second try. And Nurse is going to go to the front of the net. The Czechs broke a stick on the opening face-off. So they've only got 4 guys in the zone. But Couturier's shot is not handled well by Bartoszak. And Nurse picks up the rebound below the goal line. Coach Milos Riha is like, what happened there? 10 seconds in, it's 2-0 Canada.
Couturier draws the assist. So Nurse, who scored against France in the tournament, has his second.
He's had a good tournament for Canada. Played over 20 minutes a game. Second on the Canadian roster in ice time. Just a little bit behind Thomas Chabot, but coming off a 10-goal season, he's got a second of the tournament. Canada's up 2-0.
The head of the Czech Ice Hockey Federation just walked in front of us, looked at the clock and said, what happened? Theodore plays it around for Stone, and now picked up by Palat. Czechs have but one loss in the tournament, a 3-0 defeat to Russia. And now Palat back with it. Andre Palat centers it. Yaskin missed on that. And Marchessault slides that for Stone. In with Dubois. Centering pass for Pierre-Luc Dubois. That flipped wide of the goal. And now Palat back with it. Ruda. Centering pass for Faxa. Brought in now by Palat. That's knocked down by Stone. You said that once, said 1,000 times with him. Stone for Dubois. Back for Stone. Chips it right on. Bartoszak makes the stop. And now the Czechs break in. 3-on-2. Faxa for Palat for the trailer. Yaskin in. Shoots. Pad saved by Murray. And then Faxa fell on the Canadian netminder.
That's a good stop.
Marchessault for Severson. In. Shoots. He powdered that just wide. Kept back
this
in
got
by
open.
Stone.
This got open here.
Now Severson fires it back down to the Czech zone as Canada's changing. And flipped high in the air by Jakub Vrana, who had one shift for 26 seconds in that period.
He was benched in the last game. Mark Stone's got one tonight. He makes a good defensive play, but he gets on his horse and then finds the seam to the middle of the net. He and Marchessault come close together. Stone deflects it. And then on the 3-on-2, once that play was stopped, Jaskin, excellent save by Matt Murray. And then Nurse is able to push Faksa, probably not in the direction he wanted, right on top of his goalie, but he pushes him before Faksa can make a move around the prone Matt Murray.
Face off now in the Czech zone. So Jakub Vrana, the Washington Capitals player, has kind of fallen in the doghouse, you mentioned.
Now you're down 2-0, knowing Vrana, who's a talented offensive guy. You got to get him into the game here. You can't just ignore him, even though you might not be thrilled with him at the moment.
That sharp angle shot by Vrana deflects high and wide. Ronak missed on it. I wonder what a young Ray Ferraro would have done had he been benched in 2 consecutive games and asked to come into a 2-0 game to score.
Score. You'd want to score so you could turn around to the coach and say, seriously, what have you been waiting for? You take any piece of fuel you can. Doesn't do you any good to sit and mope on it. Here's the team needs you now.
First round pick, 13th overall to Washington.
24 goals this year. Thought he had an excellent playoff last year. Seemed to kind of come of age for the Capitals in that playoff run.
Repik knocked that down, but McCann plays it back for Theodore. Shea Theodore flips it ahead for Turris. To Anthony Mantha. Thomas Ahorna walks in, drops it back for Repik. That pass missed Kubalik, who has scored in 3 consecutive games for the Czechs. Swung back across to Ruta. Jan Ruta pounds it off the end. Boards jam play at the center of the goal. Kubalik couldn't get that to go. Set play there as Ruta intentionally shot it wide.
And again, the Czechs have been here before. That play would be a little more comfortable to make because you know the rink. Oh, nice play.
Crisp pass ahead for Turris. Trying to throw that rink wide and deflects wide. Mantha centers it and just missed Turris with that pass. Now Turris kicks it free. Kyle Turris works down in the corner. Picks it free again. Ray, we've seen so many players come here after a disappointing NHL season and really cap their year off on a good note, and Kyle Turris would be a guy who's doing that here.
Absolutely. You regenerate yourself, your new teammates, new game, every new opponents. You got a chance to finish the year off right.
In comes Frolik. Pivots back in the corner. Trying to find Simone in front. That was knocked down by Severson. And Cirelli up ahead for Couturier. He's got Reinhart with him. Couturier wheels in, drops it back for Reinhart. He was stripped of the puck, and Frolik has it back. In comes Michael Frolik. Drops it back for Simone. Backdoor pass to Voracek, winds in. That's kicked around by Frolik. Couturier, who was shadowing his Philly teammate, Jacob Voracek, feeds it back across for Severson. Shabbat back down to the Czech line, knocked down by Gudas. For Palat. Rink wide pass knocked down by Jaskin and played out by Shabbat. Ronak goes back, being shadowed there by Dubois. Ronak, long lead pass. Fox from a sharp angle that's knocked away by Murray.
Really liked Murray right from the very first shot of the game today. He has been on it.
Musil knocked off stride. In comes Shabbat with it. Thomas Shabbat drops it off to Stone. A centering pass for Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Back down to Stone. Holds it around to Marchessault. Sharp angle shot. Rebound score. Pierre-Luc Dubois. And it's 3-0 Canada.
Dubois had 2 assists in the quarterfinal. His game has grown game by game since he was at it. Once the tournament started, his role has grown, his ice time's grown. Little give and go here with Stone, who makes a nice play to Marchessault. And Marchessault to me has always been a shooter, but what's impressed me with him in the last couple of seasons is seeing how well he sees the ice and passes the puck. This is a rocket of a pass. Right past the Czech defenders. They're not in position to deny that pass, and Dubois makes it 3-0 as the families get to celebrate, and we've got a goalie change for the Czechs.
Wow, so out comes Bartoszak. In comes Pavel Francouz of the Colorado Avalanche, who announced just today that they've signed into a contract extension. Francouz is one of the few right-handed catching goalies in the NHL this year. Half a dozen of them played.
Signed a 1-year extension after a pretty good first year, mostly in the American League, where he played 49 games for the Colorado Eagles, their American League affiliate, and had a .918 save percentage.
So 3 goals on 15 shots for Canada. Chases Bartoszak from the Czech net. You know, for all the talk about the heroics, and Severson had the great goal, and Stone had 2. Pierre-Luc Dubois had 2 assists in that game against the Swiss. Set up the winner by Stone in overtime. So Dubois, the latest to cash here.
Oh, that line has been so good. When Columbus selected Dubois right away, they made him their #1 center.
In comes Mantha, shoots just as high and wide. And Dubois got the late call from Canada when John Tavares got hurt. Answered the call that has been huge for this Canadian team. You wondered at the start of the tournament with Tavares out if Canada's centers could hold up. They've been a strength.
And Dubois and Turris at the top end of the roster have been excellent.
Couturier has been fabulous as well. McCann works in, flips it back across. Just missed Fabro with that pass. Fabro fell behind the play, but at the line, Turris knocked it down. In comes McCann. Drops it back to Fabro. Fabro centers it. McCann had it bounce away. And Ruta banks it back out. Dylan Strome plays it across to Troy Stetcher. Stetcher up ahead for Henrique. And it bounces back to Fabro. Dante Fabro finishes college season at Boston University, signed a pro contract with the Nashville Predators. As Frolik works in. Centering pass knocked away by Joseph. Voracek plays it back. Hronek back in the corner. Here's Frolik. Plays it back across for Gudas. In, shoots, punched away by Murray. Rebound, loose in front. Murray down again. And the puck trickles wide. Adam Henrique flips that high in the air. Gudas crunched there by Joseph. And a hand pass called at center ice. 3-0 Canada leads in the second. Had the game against the Swiss ended 4/10 of a second earlier in regulation, the Canadian players would be home right now watching this game on TV.
And yet now, much like the Finns, who played an almost perfect 60 minutes, we're coming up on the halfway point, and it would be really hard to find something that Canada hasn't done well. They took 2 penalties. Their penalty killers have been perfect. The goaltending has been spot on, and they've got 3 goals already. It's been an outstanding effort off an emotional win in the quarters.
Now Voracek winds his way in. Voracek swings it across to Frolik. Frolik plays it back around for Hronek. And Ronick back down for Simone. Dominic Simone to Frolik. His shot was blocked by Severson. And Nurse has it back for Canada. Remember back to the 2015 World Junior Championship, Darnell Nurse and Shea Theodore with a shutdown pair for Canada. They were tremendous in that gold medal win. As Severson works in. He got bumped down by Yashkin, who gives him a shot, then a kick on the way by. And Frolik knocks it down. Michael Frolik. Tied up by Cirelli. Up the other side it comes. Jan Kolas shoots off the leg of Nurse and back out to center ice. Kolas. Lead pass for Faksa. He finds Yaskin. Pass in front. Murray down. Backhanded wide by Palat. Murray might have got a piece of that on the way by. And now Marchessault back the other way with Nurse and Stone. Marchessault to Nurse. Off the bench comes Theodore. Nurse swings it down to Marchessault. Back down to Stone. He picks it free. And again. And now Yaskin back with it. Yaskin feeds that down to the Canadian zone. Fabro going back for Theodore. Jay Theodore, 23-year-old defenseman for Vegas. Crisp pass ahead to Stone. In comes Stone. Drop pass. Dubois works it back in front. Marchessault couldn't pull the trigger. Now Marchessault back to Fabro. Right on the line to Theodore. Round it goes to Marchessault. Canada changing now. As Gulash plays to the center ice. Knocked down by Matthew Joseph. In comes Strome. Plays onside as the Canadian player just hopped off the bench, or hopped off the ice to get on the bench. Henrique shoots, pinballs around in front. Joseph a chance. Puck still loose. Picked up by Strome. Gets it down to Joseph. Matthew Joseph wraps around, holds and shoots, and Francouz with that right-handed catching glove makes the stop.
Strong play by Joseph to get the shot. As he beats the checks to the post, Gudas gets caught on the other side of the net. Here's the Yaskin play to Palat. Yep, little pad on it from Matt Murray. No, it flips up on him, up on the edge and spins off him. Earlier on, Dubois and Stone tag team to set up Marchessault. I don't think he catches the pass vision-wise till late. It bounces off his stick, or it would be 4-0.
In comes Repik with it. Long shot knocked away by Murray. Rebound, and Murray makes a stop on that. As Matt Murray, celebrating his 25th birthday, makes the stop.
5 minutes into the first period, Troy Stetcher gets into the zone, and Mark Stone tips in his 8th goal of the tournament, and then Stone, nifty little hands behind the net, sets up Marchessault, who finds Pierre-Luc Dubois racing in on the left post. Stone leading the tournament, as you see, in goals. He's now just picked up a dry pair of gloves. The wet ones go back to the glove machine, and he's all set again.
In 19 games of the World Championship for Canada, he has 24 points. Fed back to Kubalik. That was poked away by McCann. Up ahead for Turris. And Jared McCann slides that down. Mantha tipped into Hronek. Now back behind the goal. Francouz played that away from Mantha. Always intrigued by right-handed catching goalies. There aren't many of them anymore, but did they throw you off?
Yeah, I didn't like when we had one on our team, because when you go into practice, you're practicing a shot you never get. I actually liked it as a left shot because I could get a top glove easier on that side.
Gulash put that wide. Now Kolas around for Simone. 9.5 to go here in the period. Dominic Simone feeds it down to Frolik. This top line going back to work. As Rutha sends it down for Simone. Tied up by Theodore. And Shea Theodore wins that battle for the puck. Head to Turris. Clear it out. Frolik. Long shot. That went just wide. Here's Voracek back on it. He's taken down. And Turris throws that rink wide to Mantha. Chops it down in the Czech zone. And Francouz out to play it. Couturier leaves it back for Nurse. Severson out to Couturier. Rolling puck that's knocked away by Zaborski. In comes Voracek, centering pass. Murray makes the stop and turns away Fax on the rebound. The puck still loose. Murray down and cleared out by Cirelli. Zamorski in, shoots, that goes wide. That was a close call for the Czechs. Now Voracek back with it. Wrap around, try loose in front. Reinhart knocks that away. And the puck is back to center ice.
Wild scramble, and the puck stays on the outside of the goal line.
Now stolen by Marchessault. Works his way in. Marchessault back in the corner with it. Off the bench comes Shabbat as Marchessault plays that in deep. Nurse moves in. Seals the wall. And Faxa plays it around for Gudas. Out at center ice. Glove down by Shabbat. And Nurse chips it back for Stone. Marchessault for Shabbat. Thomas Shabbat works back in and shoots. Franco's the save. The rebound skipped away from Marchessault. Back comes Yaskin the other way. Stetcher's staying with him. Yaskin works in. A little backhand shot at the side of the goal. Loose there for Yaskin. Across to Verana. Back for Hronek. Slaps it across. Stone got a stick on that. If the puck's within 10 feet of him, he's got a chance.
Really, really amazing.
Hronek. Long shot, just missing the tip there, was Kovac. Musil plays it back in for Jan Kovac. Verana.
Look at that, he's never in a hurry, Stone is. He didn't go to hit the player in the corner, he just went to the right position and the puck's turned over and they clear it out of the zone. They're gassed and no danger.
Knocked down by Shabbat. Flips that back ahead. Kolash knocks that away from Joseph. Right back the other way by Zahorna. Thomas Zahorna spins back. Here's Kolash. That shot blocked by Joseph. Canada's got numbers as Henrique brings it out. Adam Henrique moves it across the line. Bulls over Kolash. And Cirelli picks it free for Strome. Dylan Strome in, shoots, and Francouz makes the stop. 6:36 to go here in the second period. Canada leads 3-0. Festival atmosphere here in Bratislava this week with so many of the countries close by. The Austrians 45 minutes away, the Czechs 55 minutes away.
The Austrians lose in a shootout to Italy, and they get bumped down next year.
And Great Britain survives in overtime to knock France down to relegation. Belarus and Kazakhstan coming up next year. Couturier flips that ahead for Reinhart. Drops it off for Couturier. For the trailer Nurse. Here comes Darnell Nurse. Cirelli with it now. Anthony Cirelli. Drops it back. Couturier shoots, and Francouz knocks that away. Couturier swings that back, but the pass draws Nurse out. Snaps that pass. And a great pass for Reinhart. He shoots, and Francouz makes the stop. He'll hang on with Cirelli swinging in. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship from Bratislava. 3-0 Canada leads here. Second semifinal of the World Hockey Championship. Earlier today, the Finns stunned Russia. Capital S, stunned Russia, 1-0 to advance to the gold medal game. The Russians were 8-0 coming in. A powerhouse team. And the Finns, just 2 NHL players, neither of them scored in the NHL this year. Shut them out 1-0.
A remarkable performance by the Finns.
One of their journalists was joking, they're trying to find out how bad a team they can give to Jukka Jalonen and still have him win with it.
I think at times the coach gets too much credit or blame, but I thought he did an unbelievable job with his roster in this tournament. In particular today, the way that he used his bench, when he shrunk the bench down. It never seemed like it was total chaos, like they were going to be in trouble. Sure, the Russians had chances. Why wouldn't they with that lineup? But they were just perfect today.
One of the best Russian teams we've ever seen at this World Championship. I mean, they had almost everybody. From the point, Hronek had that pass, that shot hit the skate of Palat. And now McCann back with it, inside 5 to go in the second period. Mantha chips that in deep, and Canada will change. Hronek, long lead pass, trying to find Repik with it. Back goes Philip Myers, shields him off. Picked up by Repik. Now back at the point, that long shot by Kolash, rebounded. Zahorna's stick was tied up there by Dubois. Stetcher to Marchessault, back to center ice. Stone chipped that down, and Ruta puts it back for Zahorna. Kolash gets spun around. And here is Ruta. One of the 12 NHL players on this Czech roster. Traded by Chicago to Tampa in midseason. Racing to it is Marchessault. Steps around Gudas and flips that down to the Czech zone. Zamorsky lays it back for Gudas.
4 Canada red jerseys right inside the line. There's nowhere for the Czechs to go.
Now Vrana. That pass picked off at center ice by Cirelli. Cirelli moves ahead with Couturier and Reinhart. Sam Reinhart waiting for it. Plays it around to Cirelli. Jumping up is Nurse. Nurse a centering pass, a shot actually. That's gloved by Francouz, and he'll hang on.
Canada certainly flattened out the game here with the 3-0 lead. No need to take a chance. There's no forecheck. They get everybody back, and they're really solid defensively.
And the goal by Nurse, just gigantic here. 10 seconds into the second period to make it 2-0.
And the Czechs asleep off the neutral zone face-off. They had a player break a stick, so that only left them with 4 guys in the zone as he went to get a stick. But man, there's no way Nurse should have been able to go around the back of the net, and the goaltender Bartoszek was not quick enough to shut down the wraparound.
Now Theodore's shot deflects wide. Here's Adam Henrique on it. Leaves it there for Joseph. Matthew Joseph has been a spark plug for Canada along with Cirelli throughout the tournament. Now a centering pass knocked down by Musil. Henrique spins that back to Joseph. To Fabro, who's jumped up. Fabro back to Henrique. Throws it back in deep, trying to find Joseph. He's shielded off by Musil. And Jaskin has it back. Joseph kicking at it. Matthew Joseph. Tied up there by Hronek. And now kick free for Jaskin. Up for Faxa. Paddock faxing on Theodore. Drops it off for Jaskin. In shoots. Murray makes the stop. And the long rebound goes all the way to Joseph. He leads off on a change and plays it in deep. And icing was waved off. Slovak fans here are chanting, "We want a goal."
If they don't get one here in the next couple of minutes, it's going to be really difficult for them. Obviously, it would be down 3 with 20 minutes left. You got to push for one here.
Back goes Shabbat, knocked down by Kovash. Shabbat, big pass for Stone, just missed. And Kovash across to Ruta. Jan Kovash, ahead for Kubalik, pokes it back for Kovash. In the corner is Kovash, goes back to Palat. He's knocked down by Myers. And now Marchessault, rink wide he goes for Mantha, but the play's offside at the Czech line.
Anthony Mantha's been pretty quiet in his return today. 7 goals on the tournament. It's been that top line again. Stone's got a goal and an assist coming a couple of days after a 2-goal, 1-assist performance. And Milos Riha, the head coach for the Czechs, is scratching his head a bit. They scored 44 goals in their 8 games prior to today, and they've got nothing through 38.5 minutes.
Giving it to referee Mikko Kokatori from Finland. Severson swings it around to Mantha. And now Gudas has that knocked down. As Turris tried to play that ahead, but it bounces over the glass and out.
Matt Murray had given up 2 goals on 24 shots against the Swiss, but he was really shaky. The puck bounced around on him tonight, or the other night in the quarterfinals. Tonight, rather, he has been right on it. Every shot, he's right in front of the puck. These high tip plays, low tip plays that the Czechs have tried a great number of times, he has been right on it, followed the puck well, and stopped everything so far.
Played really well in Canada's 3-0 win over the United States in the last round robin game.
Canada's given up 2 goals in the last 3 games and 2 periods.
1 minute left in the second period.
Final minute now, the second period. Musil. Up for Zahorna, that's knocked down. Zahorna brings it in. And now picks the pocket of Turris, walks it in, shoots, Murray makes a stop. Rebound, Repik turned away and tight. What a stop by Murray. Back it goes, and that shot taken by Kolash is stopped.
Hit him right in the mask.
And Kolash goes back for the loose puck. Dominic Simone in across the line, drops it up for Voracek. Veronik walks in, and sliding to block that was Mantha. Now a centering pass, Verano with a chance, that's cleared away by Nurse.
Oh, Verano whiffed on a one-timer. He's about 15 or 18 feet dead center, and he doesn't get anything on it. Michael Repik's gonna have this chance. Nice play to keep the puck alive, and then Repik has the rebound of the Zahorna shot, and Matt Murray 2 really good stops. The second one hits him right in the mask, doink, but he makes the stop on Michael Repik. As I mentioned just a moment ago, he's been terrific today.
9 seconds to go in the period. Scramble draw, Verana fell. And that long shot knocked away by Murray. Bouncing puck in front, just missed by Faxa. And time expires, and Canada adds 2 in the second period and now has a 3-0 lead after 40 minutes in the semifinals of the 2019 World Championship.
Shots on goal in the second period. Czech Republic 12, Canada 11.
Strany na bramę drugiej treningi, Czeska 12, Kanady 11.
that up in front of the net for him in the third.
Is there any concern about perhaps sitting back for trying to protect this lead here in the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, you know, I think there's a fine line between, you know, playing defensive and just playing smart. We're gonna have to keep playing smart. We're gonna have to make some smart plays with the puck, but you know we can still attack and play on offense.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Matt Murray on his 25th birthday has stopped all 24 shots he's faced from the Czech Republic. And Pavel Francouz came on in relief for the Czechs after the third goal and stopped 7 shots.
It's quite likely Francouz will be in Colorado next year as the backup, as Semyon Varlamov is out of contract, and Philip Grubauer, who came and played for Germany, is clearly the #1 there in Colorado. 10 seconds into period 2, Canada added to the lead. The Czechs better get one quick here, or it's going to be a long third period for them.
Long shoot in, knocked down by Francouz. Veronic on it. Up for Verana, who's back in a regular rotation now for the Czechs. Drop back, Simon with a quick shot. And Murray got a piece of that, bounces by Musil and back down the ice.
Verana jumps up and flips into a spot where Michael Frolik was playing, and so it looks like they'll go to the blender here looking for 3 goals in this third period.
Voracek moves in, puck at his feet, but the play was offside at the Canadian line.
So tough when you're down this many that you know you need a bucket full, but you can't try to get them all at the start. You have to try and put a couple of shifts together, get one. If you get one by the 10-minute mark, you always feel like you have a chance, that you would be down 2 with 10 minutes. Then you go, we got 8 minutes or 9 minutes to get one more and maybe pull the goalie. It's a long road back from 3 down.
Ruda bumped by Dubois. And now Yashkin chips out ahead. Yashkin played by Washington on waivers from St. Louis this season.
Scored just 2 goals in 37 games when he went to the Caps.
That pass deflects off a stick up and out of play. Kolash played in the Olympics last year for the Czechs.
A lot of Czech fans looking to make some noise, and it's been pretty quiet here in this second game.
Think back 20 years ago, Ray, in the 2001 World Championship, the Czechs won their 3rd in a row. They'd also won back-to-back World Junior titles and were the reigning Olympic men's hockey champions. They were the unquestioned kings of international hockey.
The junior stuff we talk about, you know, the age-out tournament, so much of that is randomness of having the right groups born into the same year. And that was an incredible run for the Czechs at that time.
They're the last team to win 3 consecutive World Championships. Canada is bidding for a 3rd in 5 years this year after winning in 2015 and 2016.
Canada lost 3-1 to the Finns in the very opening day of the tournament. Both teams have come a long way since then.
Strome drops, Henrique in, shoots, and Francouz makes the stop, and Strome got taken down by Musil.
Certainly no time for Canada to be getting involved in any extracurricular stuff. If the Czechs are frustrated, good, let them be frustrated. Don't get drawn into anything. 648 NHL wins for Alain Vigneault, now the new head coach, of course, in Philadelphia.
Took the year off this year. Played golf in Florida.
Worked out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, got into good shape, he feels again, ready for the grind of what is a long NHL season.
And then said after the Swiss game, what was I thinking getting back into coaching?
Well, for them, it's in their veins. They're not going anywhere. They like the stress. And then when they don't like the stress, then they miss it. They miss the angst of coaching.
Face off back down in the Czech zone. A really interesting question for tomorrow will be, how will the Russians respond in the bronze medal game?
It's a crapshoot. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's no way they thought they'd be playing for anything other than the gold medal, and just a devastating loss for them. And they might come out and be great, but just as easily they may come out and mail one in.
Strome pulls that free. Oh, here's our favorite song. If you are not hopping, you are not Czech.
When they did this in the Czech Republic in Jaromír Jágr's last international tournament, I thought the building was coming down.
That shot fired wide by Stetcher. Here's Repik with it. Repik across to Zohorna, drops that back. And a long shot deflected wide. Thomas Zohorna back with it. And his brother getting a rare ship, Hinek Zohorna, number 20. It's always odd to see a guy pop up in the third period of the game when he hasn't played for a couple of hours.
It's odd for him, too.
Voracek works in. 3 Canadians converged on him. And Reinhart plays it back out. Kolash spins back for the Czechs. Bouncing puck for Simon, but the play called as the puck bounced off the stage and beside the Canadian bench. And there, speaking of great Czechs, is the great Jaromir Jagr. Played in his hometown of Kladno this year.
Doing some work with the Chinese Ice Hockey Federation to help them prep for the 2022 Winter Olympics.
And the IIHF Council this week voted to include China as the host country, even though they're ranked 33rd in the world rankings. That was not a given. Faxa works in. Radek Faxa drops that back in a long shot taken by Zamorsky. Rebound loose in front, knocked down by Fabro. Marchessault with it. It was a stirring scene in 2015 in Prague after the Czechs lost the bronze medal game in the United States. The salute of the fans to Jagr was incredible.
A true legend in the Czech Republic, for sure.
I'm not sure Icon even begins to cover it with him.
I remember when he got the puck and how the building would come alive, and he performed too. He was really good in that tournament.
Rink wide pass for Hronek. And now knocked down by Mantha. Hronek took the clearing attempt away from his fellow Detroit Red Wing. Here's Palat with it. Andre Palat shovels up to the goal mouth. Kovac feeds it back in front, and Kubalik just missed. Well, the Czechs have had their chances, but they've rolled off sticks, cued wide.
And Matt Murray has been fantastic.
Right.
Like, he has stopped a half a dozen or more great chances that the Czechs have put together. This is a shot deflected in front of the net by Frolik as Zamorsky unloads it from the point. And here's Kubalik, who was the leading scorer in the Swiss League this year. He's been traded to Chicago. There's some talk that he's signed and will go to the Blackhawks in September. But Kubalik, who was traded to Chicago from LA, a 7th round LA pick in 2013. He had 25 goals in 50 games this year in the Swiss League.
Played a couple years for Kitchener in the Ontario League. Goes back to tucks that up. Is Jan Kolash.
Alain Vigneault, Lindy Ruff, Kirk Muller are all having a chat about the icing call. Thomas Chabot's on the ice. He curiously played just under 8 minutes in the first period. Coming into today, he was Canada's ice time leader with over 20 minutes.
Now Turris for the face-off against Simone.
So that sign is Vigneault wants Adam Henrique to get off the ice on a change, which wasn't able to here.
Turris won the draw, face off and get off.
And there goes Henrique.
Now knocked down by Couturier. Sean Couturier pivots back in the corner. Got to slide that back for Nurse. The pass misfired, and Murray chips it there to Nurse. Nurse, one of 6 players on the roster, has won a World Junior gold medal for Canada. As that bounces into the Canadian bench.
Turned into a pretty choppy start here to the period. Lots of whistles, not much flow.
Love that new Czech logo on the sweaters. There's so much symbolism to it. The number of points on the lion's mane represent World Championships won. The eye of the lion is actually shaped like the island in Prague where the arena was, where they won their first World Championship. So much history in that country and this, which used to be together until the early 1990s. Faxa in on Dubois. Radek Faxa swings that back. Good as a hard shot, kicked away by Murray. 6 gone here in the period. Stone to center ice. That's knocked down by Gudis. Gudis works in and Marchessault will pick this pocket. Long shot goes high from Jaskin. Faxa to Frolik, shoots. Murray makes the stop, but he'll hang on to that. You're watching the 2019 World Hockey Championship from Bratislava. Face off in the Canadian zone. Canada a 3-0 lead. Mark Stone opened the scoring just over 5 minutes in to make it 1-0. Then Darnell Nurse a huge goal 10 seconds into the second. And Pierre-Luc Dubois made it a 3-0 lead shortly afterwards. Anthony Mantha back in the Canadian lineup after serving a 1-game suspension. Winds his way in. Mantha, power move, drops it back. Turris scores! Kyle Turris on the feed by Mantha, and it's 4-0 Canada.
Kyle Turris is 4th of the tournament, his 10th point on the receiving end of a gorgeous play from Anthony Mantha. This is a new age power forward, 6'5", 225 pounds. Watch him blow by the forward that's back on defense. Kubalik has no chance. As Mantha gets outside him, he's going to protect the puck, and without even lifting his head, Turris has probably yelled for the puck, but his peripheral vision shows him where Turris is, and it's a gorgeous play by Anthony Mantha. And Canada drives another nail in, and it's 4-0.
Canada lost its opener 3-1 to the Finns, a day after losing John Tavares in practice on the eve of the tournament. But they've reeled off since then. 7 consecutive wins, looking to make it 8 tonight. Sometimes a team is greater than the sum of its parts. It's true for the Finns, might be true for Canada too. Couturier spins it down to Reinhart. That pass broken up by Voracek. A week for Voracek. Drops it back, Simone shoots, that goes wide. Give it Dad again. Captaining his team at the World Championship. 30-25, the shots on goal in favor of the Czechs. But Canada has a 4-0 lead. And there's an icing call against the Czech Republic.
Anthony Mantha's grown year by year, 17, 24, 25 goals the last 3 years. He takes the loose puck now, he's gonna bolt up the wing. Kubalik is back, helping out on defense where Roenick was. Roenick had lost the puck in the offensive zone. They're all staring at it and they're like, yeah, that's pretty terrible. As Mantha blazes by the forward Kubalik and lays a beauty of a pass that Turris does not miss.
So when Mantha was drafted in 2013, 20th overall, he was a gangly goal scorer for the Quebec League.
70 goals.
Now, he is, as you described, a power forward. There were times when people in Detroit wondered if he'd ever get to that level, but 30 goals is on the horizon for him.
I mean, there's of the many examples of why you don't bail yet on young players. Just 24 years old, and each year he's grown in the number of goals. To me, if he doesn't get 30 next year, that's a disappointment. He should be a perennial 30-goal guy. Shoots the puck too well, he's too big, he skates too well for it not to be.
Stone knocks that down. In comes Mark Stone, feeds it back. That pass knocked Dubois over. And now Verana back with it, but Stone took it away at center ice. Hronek being shouted there by Marchessault, takes him in hard into the end boards.
Wonder if there's something wrong with Chabot here. It's a 4-0 lead. He's played very little. He's sitting right down at the end of the bench next to Carter Hart. Kind of odd to go from 20 minutes a night to not getting on the ice.
Right. Kovash trying to dig that free in the corner. Nurse pokes it ahead to Henrique. Glove down by Ruta. But Henrique comes back and takes that away. Banked back down to the Czech line. Here's Kubalik. Up ahead for Kolaj. That's broken up by Strome. Lead pass for Mantha. Busting in Anthony. Mantha shoots. Francouz makes the stop. McCann from a sharp angle. Rebound. Mantha turned away.
The net's up.
Francouz knocked it off.
Breakaway for Mantha. He doesn't elevate this as much as he wants to. Strome pitches this up the middle. He wants to go up over the glove, but he doesn't get it there. And when Francouz moves, he rams the post off. He's actually not going high. He wants to go just over the pad. But Francouz has made some good stops, and he makes one there.
Anthem has 15 games with a broken hand this year and suffered in a fight. Still managed to score 25 goals in 67 games for the Red Wings. Gudas flips it down in the Canadian zone. Back goes Fabro for it. Icing called again against the Czechs.
What a disappointing day for the Czechs. They come in 7-1 on the tournament, but off the 5-1 4-goal third period win in the quarters against Germany. A team that seemingly had really gelled, really had played to an identity, and for first-time coach Milos Riha, it seemed like they were in a pretty good spot, but they had some 2 power plays in the first period, not able to capitalize, down 1-0, but that goal 10 seconds into the second period was a real kick in the pants.
Czechs won their opener against the Swedes 5-2. Their only loss 3-0 to the Russians. That's icing again against the Czechs.
I'm not sure what Gudas is expecting to happen here. These are shoulder-high breakout passes. I guess maybe somebody can catch them, but back-to-back icing penalty or icing calls against Gudas.
Now the face-off to this side of the ice. Turris comes out. Mantha drops it off to McCann. Works back in front, poke check by Francouz, knocked away from Turris. Kubalik. Chabot falls. Penalty coming to Canada. That quick shot goes off the side of the goal. So Gulash got the shot away. But Canada will be penalized again. A tripping call. With 10:35 to go in the third period, Chabot will go off.
He's going to chase down Kubalik, and he gets a hand on him, and Kubalik goes down rather easily, but the third power play here for the Czechs. Well, if it wasn't the hand, actually it's not the hand, it was the dive that clipped out his feet. You saw when the official's arm went in the air.
So for the Czechs, it's got to be now. And even that might not be enough.
That might not be enough either. They need a couple of quick ones here.
Ronik to Voracek, back to Ronik. Voracek to Kovac. Ronik, Kovac. To the goal mouth that bounced away from Repik. Here's Voracek back with it. Ronik sets it up for Kovac. Back to Ronik. Voracek a centering pass. It's in the feet of Severson. That's knocked away. Henrique goes after it. Frolik centers it, knocked away by Murray. And Darnell Nurse pounds that off the sideboards and back down the ice. Past the midway point of the third period. Voracek swings that across. And Kovac back with it. Now Frolik pulls it free. Michael Frolik back to Voracek. Cam play in front of the goal. Murray kicks that away. Frolik leads the Czechs with 2 power play goals in the tournament. And that pass goes off the skate of Vrana. Vrana, part of a group of young Czechs who played their junior hockey in Sweden. David Pasternak also did that. Palat works in. Myers knocks him down. And Fabro plays it right down the ice.
Well played by Myers. You get a little glimpse of why the Flyers are pretty high on a player that was not drafted, signed out of junior after he'd been to their development camp.
Kubalik drops it back. I believe he'd been to Calgary's camp as well prior to that. Not many righties that size that skate like that go through the draft. Faxa. Although the Flyers are quick to point out that if they were so smart, they passed on him 7 times in the draft too. And the teams are back to even strength. 8:20 to go here in the period. Zahorna works right in. Pad saved by Murray. What a stop by Matt Murray on Zahorna. Goodness. Centering pass and another chance there for Zahorna. And Matt Murray makes the stop. Nurse is in it with Yaskin. Canada a 4-0 lead. Back here in Bratislava. Canada holding a 4-0 lead on the Czechs here at Andrej Nepola Arena. Named after a Czechoslovak figure skater who won the Olympic gold medal in 1972 in Sapporo, Japan. This rink completely renovated a couple of times. Pretty nice spot.
The arenas of this size in Europe are built with a pretty sharp bowl on them, so they feel like everybody's sitting on top of it. There's another good stop for Matt Murray. And here's the play Myers made as he close to interference perhaps, but he lays enough of a body onto Palat to knock him off his feet.
8 to go here in the period. Severson slides out ahead of bouncing puck as Francouz has to reach out and play it away from Couturier. After the game, we'll get the player of the game presentations for both teams. Then both teams will also present their top 3 player of the tournament awards heading to the final day tomorrow. And now Cirelli with a steal. Centers at Couturier, drops it back across. Joseph a chance, rebound. Oh, what a stop in tight on Couturier by Francouz. How did those two stay out? Now Couturier back with it. Shovels it back in front. Here's Severson from a sharp angle. Fires. It's off the skate of Kolash and wide.
That net's popping off pretty easy here. Even Francouz is turning around and saying to the ref, I don't know, it just moves side to side. The thing bounces off. Couturier sets up Cirelli. Oh, that hits the defenseman. Cirelli's turned aside. Francouz is now turned around when this puck goes to the front. It's a wide open net, and it hits the shin pad of the defenseman, Hronek. Sean Couturier can only shake his head and hope that that goal stays in the bank for tomorrow.
Here is Gudas with it. Joseph ahead to Strome. Henrique falls but drops it off. Chabot winds in all alone. Chabot shoots, scores! Thomas Chabot goes shelf. And it's 5-0 Canada.
Good night, over, finito. Thomas Chabot puts it away. If there was any hope that the Czechs were going to come back at all, it's gone now. The Chabot makes it a 5 spot, and a long day gets longer for the Czechs. Matthew Joseph turns the puck over in the middle of the ice and starts the play. Chabot comes in late and takes the feed, and he's got a clean lane through the middle, and he beats Francouz up high over the glove. Gord, that's what I talked about earlier about when you're left-handed. It's an easier shot on a right-handed goalie because your stick's over on that side. Chabot took it, flipped it up over the glove off the nice pass from Henrique and Strome. And it's 5-0.
Kolash out to Kovac. Czechs last won a medal in this tournament in 2012 was a bronze.
We'll have a chance tomorrow for another one.
And that'll mean something. That's, you know, when you haven't won one in 7 years. There'll be a big Czech contingent here tomorrow.
What a disappointment for them to go down like this. But for Canada, just a terrific hockey game they played today.
Now Zahorna works in, shoots, scores! Thomas Zahorna streaks in. And the Czechs are on the board, down 5-1.
$14 goals this year in the KHL. He played a couple of years in the Quebec League back in 05-07. He's going to play next year in Habarovsk with his brother, who's played sparingly today. A long puck that bounces on Thomas Chabot. And Chabot, who just scored, burps up one here, and as he can't clear it, Zahorna beats Matt Murray. The shutout's gone, and it's 5-1.
Hronek goes back for it. So Zahorna has his first point of this World Championship. Now Voracek risks that towards the goal. Hit for a leak in the pants. Bouncing puck goes wide. Couturier. Up ahead for Reinhardt. He got Cirelli jumping in. Reinhardt in, shoots. Francouz makes the stop. The rebound cleared by Hronek. Now Nurse moves in. Darnell Nurse. Long wrist shot, bounces off Francouz. Reinhardt centers it. And Couturier couldn't tap that home. Reinhardt peels back in the corner. Feeds that back to Severson. And now Couturier back on it. Couturier and Hronek are battling down there. 5 to go in the third period. Repik slides back on Nurse. A centering pass knocked down by Stone. Rebound! And Faska turned away by Murray. Radek Fox a good chance there. And back comes Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Picked up by Fax. Dubois jousting there. Look out, a big swing there by Repik.
Got to be careful here.
Now Dubois throws a punch here. If that glove comes off, that could be a suspension for the gold medal game.
Alain Vigneault and the coaching staff has to talk to the guys now. Nothing, no more. We cannot take chances here that you get nicked for a suspension for tomorrow.
5-1, Canada lead.
Team Czech penalty number 26, 2 minutes roughing. Team Canada penalty number 18, 2 minutes roughing. We're done. Let go.
Setting roughing minors of Pierre-Luc Dubois for Canada and Michael Repik for the Czechs. Repik, a former Vancouver Giant, won the Memorial Cup with them. Played 3 seasons for the Giants. Spent parts of 4 years with the Florida Panthers.
Can really shoot the puck. He's got 3 goals in this tournament. He had 3 goals at the Olympics and in Korea as well.
4-on-4 now as Palat winds in. Andre Palat shoots. Murray makes the stop. Kovash across to Kolash. And now Palat knocks it back in. Kovash tried to play that back for Palat, and the pass misfired. As he was waved off there. And now Hronek back with it. Kubalik moves in. Flips that wide up the other side. Nurse knocked it down. One of the most encouraging signs for Czech hockey is a number of their great young players, Pasternak, Vrana, Hertl, all played at home.
We'd like to find the pipeline grow of players that are at home. Helps their own local development.
In comes Hronek with it. Poke check there by Severson. Hronek winds right around. Crisscrossing with Musil. That long shot floated high and wide. Murray got bumped. A crease violation call against the Hornet will bring the face-off outside. 2:56 to go here in the period.
And Dominique Kubalik runs into Matt Murray. The face-off is pushed outside the blue line, and Canada's defense was excellent. When they gave up shots, Matt Murray was better than that today. I thought he was outstanding. He's faced 37 shots here so far, giving up just the 1 goal, the breakaway to Zohorna.
Now Voracek moves in. Drops it back to Frolik for the trailer Gudas that skipped away from him. And now Gudas back on it. Radko Gudas winds and shoots. Murray makes the stop through the screen of Voracek and hangs on. So tomorrow we'll have the bronze and gold medal games At noon here, the IIHF will induct the 2019 Hall of Fame class. Haley Wickenizer of Canada goes in, Mike Modano of the United States, along with two Slovak legends, Zygmunt Palfi and Miroslav Shatan. Jörgen Jansson of Sweden, who played nearly 300 international games for them. And the late Jim Johansson from the United States will be honored with the Paul Loik Award for exceptional service to the IIHF. That shot taken by Ruda, kicked out by Murray. Fabro swings back. Dante Fabro feeds it across to Couturier, banks it down to the Czech line. Away comes Jaskin, feeds it ahead, it gets right down to Murray, he kicks that away. A long shot, that stopped. Czechs closing in on 40 shots in the game. Inside 2 to go in the third period. Strome swings it back across, that pass knocked away from McCann by Jaskin. And now McCann and Jaskin Jaskin unloads on McCann right in the face. Jaskin has something of a reputation for this.
McCann gives him a slash. Jaskin turns around, and as they're sitting there arguing, the first punch is from Jaskin. Believe they'll each get a penalty.
Extra penalty goes to Jaskin for the rough.
Canada's first power play. The power play in the tournament is 10 for 20. Remarkable percentage.
8 different players have scored those 10 power play goals. Jared McCann's had a good tournament for Canada.
With good speed, he can shoot the puck, scored a couple of nice goals. Huh. Is this Tyson Jost's first shift?
I don't recall seeing one until now.
Good for him. He must be as frozen as a board right now, stiff as a board. Okay, go out in the power play. Jost came over when Canada ran into injury spot. The extra forward today.
So Verano will help him serve the penalty. 1:47 to go. Canada on the power play. Canada, Finland. Looks like for the gold medal at the 2019 World. Shabbat to Stetcher. And now Repik busts in behind Shabbat. Penalty coming. Repik shoots. That stopped. And a holding call will go against Canada. That'll do it for the power play.
A goal and 2 minors here in the last 5 minutes for Thomas Chabot. The puck skips on him. Now he's in a race that he can't win, and he gets called for the hold, and Repik fires this right over top of Matt Murray's head.
Kurt Muller talking over with Alain Vigneault on the Canadian bench. Lindy Ruff, the other assistant coach on the bench. Dave Hackstall is the eye in the sky upstairs. Tyler Dietrich is the video coach, who also keeps an eye on potential replay challenges. And Joe stays out there for Canada. Kovac drops that back for Zamorski's poke check, and Strome drops it back for Theodore. Chipped in by Jost. And now Kubalik with it. Cross he goes to Strome. In comes Philip Myers. Time winding down here in the third period. Canada had a 1-0 lead after one. Has blown it open with 3 here in the third. That long shooting knocked down by Murray, who's going to get a trip to the gold medal game for his 25th birthday. The Czech fans here salute their team. Favreau played that around. And a rematch of the opening game of the tournament. It'll be Canada and Finland for the gold on Sunday night here in Bratislava. Canada wins it by a final score of 5-1.
1 goal against in the last 4 games for Canada. 3 goals against, rather, in the last 4 games. 2 shutouts, the 2 against the Swiss, just 1 today. Matt Murray, 39 stops for Canada.
The Czechs will play the Russians in the bronze medal game tomorrow here in Bratislava, and that'll be followed by Canada against Finland for gold. So we'll now get the best players of each team for this game, then the top 3 players for each team in the tournament, and then we'll get the Canadian national anthem. Mark Stone's going to figure in all those conversations, including the tournament All-Star Awards, which will be handed out tomorrow after the gold medal game. Canadian families are in attendance. So the Czechs will have a chance tomorrow to capture their first medal since 2012.
The best player of the Czech Republic is number 79.
Zohorna, who scored the goal in the third period, is the player of the game for the Czechs.
The best player of Canada is number 30. Murray.
Matt Murray faces 41 shots, stops 40 of them, and on his birthday is Canada's player of the game.
Made some terrific saves. I thought in particular in the first period, the high tips, the deflections around the front of the net, he was razor sharp today.
The award of the 3 best players of each team of the tournament will be presented by Krušovice, the official sponsor of the 2019 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Now the top 3 players for each team. It's be interesting for Canada. It's selected by the management and coaching staff.
Well, Mark Stone.
Yeah. That's the easy one. Darnell Nurse has got to be in that mix.
I would say so. Maybe Kyle Turris.
Marshall has had a strong tournament for Canada. Couturier.
The 3 best players of Team Czech Republic are number 32, Patrik Bartošák.
Bartošák got pulled here in the game today. Frolik.
Number 93,
And the captain, Voracek.
The 3 best players of Team Canada are number 30, Matt Murray.
Goaltender Matt Murray
We should have got that one.
Number 61.
And Stone. Stone takes over the tournament goal-scoring lead. Mantha one behind. So one more game for gold for Canada. Now an 8-game winning streak here at the World Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship will continue tomorrow at 15:45 with the game of Russia against the Czech Republic.
Dámy a páni, majstrovstvá sveta ľadovom hokeji IIHF 2019 pokračujú tu v Bratislave na jedného hotelu Sakra o 15 hodine a 45 minúte stretnutím o tretie miesto medzi Ruskom a Českom.
Okay. The two winning teams played near perfect games on this Saturday at the World Hockey Championship. Let's start with Canada. Matt Murray in goal, Mark Stone again, Darnell Nurse. You go right down the line.
Well, I thought Canada had a pretty challenging start. The Czechs came out, played pretty hard, got some chances on goal, had a couple of first period power plays. Matt Murray was excellent. I thought he handled the high tips, the deflections, the misdirection that the Czechs were throwing at him. He was outstanding, locked in right from the very beginning. They get the first goal, of course, from Mark Stone, who just seems to do it day after day for them. But it's the goal 10 seconds into the second period that really changed the complexion of the game. Darnell Nurse scores. Now all of a sudden the Czechs are chasing. They never were able to get it back. I thought Canada was almost letter perfect today.
Now, in the earlier semifinal, the Finns shocked the Russians, who had won 8 straight, looked like heavy favorites to win the tournament. They played really a perfect game.
They did, and Kevin Lankinen, their goaltender who played in Rockford of the American Hockey League, he was good, but he didn't have to be brilliant because the Finns were just on it from the very beginning. I thought they frustrated Russia early. The Russians are emotional players. If you can get into them a little bit, they tend to lose their way. They lost it. They started to, you could see, to press against the Finns, who never cracked. There was no room in the middle of the ice. And then Marco Antila, their giant captain, who hadn't had a point until his goal in the quarterfinal, scores the only goal of the semifinal, and just like the first game of the tournament, the Finns and Canada will go at it again, this time for the gold.
So the Finns had no NHL goals from last season in Atlanta. The Russians had 212. And so it's Finland and Canada, again, with gold on the line at the World Championship.
We stayed tight. Matt made some huge saves for us, and we were able to capitalize on our opportunities.
Is there a point in the game where you guys felt like you had a stranglehold on it?
Yeah, I think you get into the third, you get one there to go up 4-0. I mean, up to that point, anything can really happen in this tournament. I think everyone's seen that so far. But once we got that fourth goal, I think not that we let off a little bit, but you know, we knew we needed to keep them out. But we had a pretty good hold on the game.
Opportunity to get a gold medal and a chance at redemption, a team you lost to the first game of the tournament. What do you remember about the Finns?
Yeah, they're such a hard-working team, obviously. They work well as a unit. They work very hard. Everywhere all over the ice, you see 5. It seems like they swarm you, so it's going to be a hard challenge tomorrow, but one we're looking forward to. And like you said, we lost them in the first game, so it's good to be able to play them again.
Good luck tomorrow, and thanks.
Thank you.
Ako ste vyrazili vpred, dali ste do toho všetko. Nikdy to nevzdávajte, neurážajte sa svete.
Michael, not the outcome the team wanted, nonetheless still a shot at bronze tomorrow. How will you guys recoup after a quick turnaround to make sure you get the job done tomorrow?
Yeah, it hurts right now, but like you said, we got to put this behind us and make sure we are ready for tomorrow. Obviously, facing a big team there, but I think we prove ourselves that we can play against anybody, and yeah, it's just gonna be mental tomorrow, and hopefully we can take some rest now and make sure we are ready tomorrow.
What the Canadians do to give you guys such a hard time to get on the board here today?
Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, you know, they were skating hard, they were aggressive, and they put us under pressure, and obviously they score first, and then they score second, and after they just controlled the game, and I mean, couldn't find the back of the net. And I think if we score a little early, I think we had a few chances there, but we didn't score, and they just put the game away.
Bartoszak's been amazing for your team. Do you guys feel like you owe it to him to show up big tomorrow to get a win for him?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's going to happen, who's going to be in the net, but if he's going to be there, yeah, we want to battle for him, and we want to battle for each other, and you know, that'll be amazing if we can win tomorrow. And like I said, it hurts now, but we got to put it behind us quick, and ready for tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
A